Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about romance in anime, TV shows and movies. Today we want to talk about the movie Passengers, right? Passengers, the romance movie in space, right? So basically the movie is about humans are on a spaceship traveling to another planet, right? And it would take like a long time, like I don't think it was like 700 years or something even longer, right? So they're traveling. So the ship passes through like has a problem, right? So one of the passengers, because there's like many people on board in like capsules, right? So the one of the capsules malfunctions. So Jim, the male the male lead actor, like the pod releases him sooner than expected. So now he's on the ship alone, right? So imagine like it's more like a hotel slash ship because you have like your own room. You wake up, it guides you to your room. It explains what happened to Earth, what's going on, situation. You have to be on board. You have to stay on board. Problem is, it's only like Jim and the bartender, right? The bartender is like an AI human type thing, right? So it talks and stuff, but it's not really like a human, right? So Jim, enjoys his time on the ship, doing whatever he wants, having fun and stuff. But how long are you gonna be alone in space? He's probably gonna die on board alone, right? So he has an idea to release one of the people in the capsules, right? So he releases a girl called Aurora, right? So he releases her. So now it's them both on the ship, and then like they have to stay on the ship. Like, it's only them, and they could release more people, but it's causing more problems. So basically, so he releases her against her will, because he basically reads, because on the pods, you can read like who they are, their history and stuff. So he finds her, she looks nice, and then looks who she is, and who he's compatible with anyway. So anyway, he releases her. So now it's them both on the ship. Now my thoughts. The question is, was it an ethical decision? I think. So I was discussing with some of my friends, right? My thing is like, if you were stuck on a spaceship alone, and you knew you were gonna be alone forever, right? Would you enjoy it alone, or would you release somebody to share the pain with, against the will? I I was on the assumption that you should do it. I think it's too long to stay in space alone, and you need somebody with you. But it's a bad thing. You can't, like, you're basically paying somebody to be with you forever. You whether they like it or not. So I think that's terrible, like in that aspect. But I think you have to do it, right? Otherwise, you're just gonna be alone suffering, right? So it's a selfish desire. It was born out of selfish needs. And when Aurora finds out, obviously she's upset. She ignores him. They do their separate things, right? But then the ship gets into trouble. So now they have to work together to save the ship and stuff. And at the end, I mean, spoilers, sorry. They get along, and then the movie goes on. But I like this movie, right? Since it's a different environment than what we used to. Some romances are big cities like New York City, somewhere in Paris, somewhere in like Texas, different parts of the world. China, Korea. So romances can be in different like countries and settings. So I like that the setting was in space. I don't think there's that many romance space movies. Could be another adventure to go in. Not, I don't. Yeah, I mean, there's some, but I don't think the main focus is romance. The main topic would be like space and travel and stuff like that, right? I think like Interstellar. I mean, is it really romance based? Not really, right? So I think Passengers is the only one that I know that's romance based, right? So I like the setting, the actors were pretty good. I think they did a pretty good job portraying the situation where, like, you're alone in space, and this very difficult to be alone, and do you need somebody with you, right? So that also it comes to the topic, like, nowadays a lot of people, like, staying alone, doing their own thing and stuff. But throughout human history, we always like work together to build cities, build infrastructure and stuff. Now everyone's like alone doing their own thing. See how it goes, see how it turns out. But from what we can see, that people need each other, and it helps us all to be better, right? So I think what Jim did, deplorable, very bad, but it had to be done, right? And also, like in terms of a grade for the movie, I would give it like a 7. I've watched it many times. I'll give it a 7. I've watched it many times. I highly recommend you guys watch it. It's very cool, very nice, very, very chilled, very, I don't know, very nice to watch. So I recommend you guys watch it, and tell me what you guys think in the comments and everything. Thank you.